This is 100% an indicator of one of those, I don't know how I haven't met you, I've known you before kind of relationships. When you have the hit of a node on one of your partner's personal planets or vice versa, it's an unquestionable karmic link. If you are excited to dive into this super informative take on the nodes of the moon in synastry charts, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what these stars have in store for you. Hi, I'm Maren, a professional astrologer, current college student, and witch proudly out of the broom closet. The nodes of the moon are one of my favorite astrological concepts to study, and they're where a lot of my research has been done, so I'm definitely very passionate to talk about this. This video is brought to you by Rashi Collective. Rashi Collective is a platform, my newly launched platform, connecting spiritual practitioners with their ideal clients. So for example, if you are looking for a tarot reader in Los Angeles, or if you are a Reiki healer offering your services online, you can post your services and or look for other metaphysical esoteric healers to assist you. All the details are down below, and if you are part of the spiritual community interested in these metaphysical topics, we would love to have you join our platform to facilitate healing and hold space for each other to hold space. By the way, I have already made 2 videos on the nodes of the moon, one on the underlying understanding of what the nodes mean and signify in astrology, and a second on what the transiting nodes of the moon entail. If you have not seen these videos, they are linked down below, so I would recommend that you watch at least the signifying, underlying video, rationale video first, so that you understand what we're all talking about here. So first off, it's important to understand how synastry is basically having another person's chart act as a long-term static transit to your own. What I mean by that is that since synastry is chart overlay and seeing how planets in one chart have a conversation with other planets in the other, it's like having a transit that never moves, constantly there, since it's an external influence crystallized in this manifestation of another person, instead of having that transit fluidly moving throughout the sky. We'll cover what synastry involving the North Node represents, then we will cover what synastry with the South Node represents, and we will round things out with some chart examples to show you specifically what I'm talking about in practice. I'm also going to show you a way of understanding where, even if you don't have an exact hit of the nodes on a personal point or planet, where we are inevitably overstimulated or drained by another person with where the nodes fall in our charts. So stay till the end to understand where we can all apply this, whether or not we have an exact hit. To recap, the North Node of the moon represents expansion, increase, and inflation. It is not what we need to evolve towards or what we need to learn, but rather what we need to be wary of grasping heavily towards or attaching all of our weight to. Therefore, in synastry, if the North Node, also called Rahu, is on another person's personal planets or luminaries or important point, such as the ascendant, descendant, IMC, or IC, the node person can feel extremely possessive of whatever that planet or point is representing in the partner. The point or planet person can feel very seen by the node person. They can also feel very smothered. If the node is on someone else's personal planet, look to what houses that planet is ruling in the planet person's chart for more context around this karmic story. To recap, around the South Node, also called ketu, it represents release, decrease, and deflation. It's not what we need to let go of, but more of what we need to be wary of depending heavily on. Therefore, when the South Node is on another person's personal planet or point, it can feel super draining towards the planet person in how the South Node person is acting. And the South Node person can feel like they're overstepping their bounds around the planet person, whether intentionally or not. Also, if you are in or have had a relationship like this with either of these aspects present, I would love to know your story around these karmic ties, and a comment down below if you're open to sharing your story. Do let me know. So simply put, contacts with the nodes can deal with past life karma. The nodes directly link to the karmic cycle that we are playing out in this life, though it's not as simple as the South Node is the past we need to let go of and the North Node is the future we need to evolve into. No. In fact, thinking so simplistically can often be harmful, or just misleading. The entire nodal axis is a cycle of karma. So whenever it's hitting someone else's placements, it'll play out in a more nuanced story. When the North Node is on someone else's planet or point, it can indicate that you were unfulfilled by this aspect in another person in a past life, or that you have not yet learned healthy integration of those themes with a partner in this life. It could also indicate that this person and their energy are very new to you and that you haven't gotten them in a past life, or that in a past life they were like the person that you didn't get, and so the cycle is new to you in some way. When the South Node is on someone else's planet or point, it can be a very like same old song type of energy where you've gotten really used to depending on the planet person in that planetarily energy type of way. And or that you're familiar with this person's energy, especially in that planet point dynamic in a past life. It can definitely indicate that you have been here before with that person, and you'll likely, you'll feel that. Which is why sometimes the South Node can be draining, because you're like, I've been here before. So an example of this is David and Victoria Beckham. David's Venus is exactly conjunct her South Node. An indication of him having been in a relational dynamic with her in a past life. And from some of their descriptions of how they found each other and felt about each other, it makes a lot of sense. They also have coinciding Venus-Mars conjunctions, which helps, but that nodal contact is a powerful indicator of having been with someone in a past life, not just in a romantic context, even though with Venus there, it kind of alludes to it. This is happening in their financial houses as well, so it's not surprising that they've been successful in businesses together, as they probably have past experiences of that too. Another example is Bill and Hillary Clinton. Hillary's North Node is right on his Taurus moon, which is definitely an indicator of her being insatiably drawn towards his internal world, wanting to get to know him personally and being very intrigued by him on a deep level. This is also happening in the financial houses, the 2nd and 8th for them, but this is just a coincidence. In these examples, in your own charts and in life, this can happen obviously in any house axis. It's also important to note that even though right now people are really into karmic lovers and soulmates and twin flames or whatever the label is, the nodes are generally agreed upon as being malefic influences. Just because something is really sensational and overwhelming doesn't mean that it has to be meant to be. Rahu can be scarily attractive and Ketu can be scarily complacent. Either way, they'll be known to you when they show up, but that doesn't mean that it's necessary for you to stick around. And even if you don't have a particular planet or point specifically affected by another person, wherever the nodes are in synastry in another person's chart, they will show up. Wherever someone's North Node falls into a house in your chart, it will paint a picture to where they're pushing you towards or grasping at having a certain area of your life. And wherever their South Node falls into your chart by house, paints a picture of where they may pull you into coping mechanisms towards the past, or simply enhancing escapist patterns around that area of life. So either way, even if you don't have a specific point really being hit, you can see, okay, where is our nodal axis overlaying in synastry? Yeah, I do feel both insatiable and deflated in relation to this person in those areas of life with what the houses signify. So if you did enjoy this video and you found this telling and valuable, do check out my private consultations down below. I would love to read for you, and I do offer synastry readings as well. You'll just have to specially ask for that in the reading description. Also check out Rashi if you're looking for any metaphysical services. Check out that down below, or posting your own. All the links in the description. Otherwise, make sure that you subscribe, and leave a comment down below with any synastry experiences you've had regarding the nodes of the moon. I would love to know. It's usually a story worth telling. Otherwise, you can watch the videos about to pop up on the screen for more awesome astrology content. I am sending so much love, and I will see you in the next one.